Welcome back to the Bronx Journal. I'm Dali Perez. Did you notice I got makeup on? Can you tell the difference between makeup done professionally and the kind applied at home? Today we have our own Bronx Journal makeup artist, Osnat Greenbaum, who is here to demonstrate how makeup is applied, and she will give us a few tips on how to look good. Osnat, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dolly. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. And we have our special guest as well, named Brian, who's our model for the day today. And I would like to ask you, tell me the difference between what is stage makeup and television makeup.
Well, I think that we use the same kind of coverage both for stage and for television makeup, but the purposes are different.
Right.
What I'm doing here on Brian is what I do every week on all of you guys and your guests when
Right.
you come in front of a camera, which is basically just taking a face and making it camera ready. I'm using foundation that matches the skin tone of the person sitting in my chair. And this is what I'm doing to Brian right now. Most people, I would mix colors as I do here. And you see, I'm using special stage and television makeup. This is not something that you buy at the counter at Macy's, but rather go to a special place, order it online. There are stores in Manhattan and all over the country where you get special coverage makeup for television and for the stage.
Is the texture of the makeup different from regular makeup?
Well, regular
is it thicker?
makeup.
Is it oily?
It is, well, regular makeup, any kind of makeup, you can define as cream base or water base, like pancake. Cream base is what I'm using right now, is oil based. And it requires, after I finish putting the foundation on, it will require powdering to finish the look and cut the shine. Water base does not require powder because there's no grease in it, there's no oil in it. And the same thing applies to everyday makeup that you get at the counter. Basically, you have makeup that is oil based and makeup that is oil free. It says so, right, on the bottle.
But how do you know if the person has a combination skin or oily skin? How do you know?
Well, this is also the difference between what I do in theater and on television and your everyday makeup. Your everyday makeup is a personal thing. It comes according to what you like to see on your face, correct?
Yeah.
According to what you do in life that requires a certain professionalism. Some people do away with lipstick and they go to work and they look good. So makeup is a personal thing. But when it comes to television or the stage, the character, the purpose determines what kind of makeup I'm going to put on. Right now what I'm doing for Brian, as I said, is putting a simple foundation that is thick enough just to even out facial tone, right? Cover little blemishes because the camera is very sensitive. And also when you put foundation on, then you can put the powder on. The powder has something to grab onto. And of course the powder is the final touch, as I do right here. Now I take a little bit of powder. Brian,
and what kind of powder is that you're using right now?
This is just simple translucent powder.
Translucent powder.
Translucent powder that fits all skin tones. I have many skin tones that come under my hands when I do makeup. So I have a variety of colors that I mix and match, and everybody gets the same translucent finishing powder. Close your eyes.
And question, when it comes to that powder, can we find that like in a beauty supplies or types of pharmacy, a CVS?
Absolutely. It goes according to your pocket, that is your budget, right? And don't go for the very expensive products. They may be good, but you're paying mostly for fancy packaging and some art director who got a lot of money to think of the name and the shape of the packaging. Sometimes the stuff that you get at the drugstore, right? I always try, I always experiment. I'm constantly buying different kinds of makeup, different kinds of powders. And I experiment. And whatever I find works for me, then that stays and that works for me. I don't care if it's made for stage, if it's made for television, or if I buy it at CVS, right? That any citizen can use it for a daily makeup. What I did now for Brian is I finished the foundation. I'm brushing off the excess powder.
And your brushes, do you buy them at the same company that comes with the foundation? Or do you buy your brushes differently in different places?
I get most of my supplies at a place called Alcone Company, which is somewhere on the west side. Upper 30s or lower 40s. You can get it online. They sell stage makeup. They sell all kinds of makeup that you need. They sell special effects. And they sell brushes, of course. My brushes that I have here are brushes that were given to me by my first teacher, where I first studied over 20 years ago. And this is the set that I carry around until today.
Right.
I actually met him a couple of months ago in Israel, and I opened up the set and I showed him, and he almost fell off his chair because he couldn't believe that I'm still working with the same brushes.
For so long.
You have good brushes, you take good care of them, they will last you for a long time.
How important how important must we clean our brushes?
Oh, very important. The same importance as it is to cleaning your face.
Right.
You put makeup on, it's very important to take care of your skin and to remove the makeup and to nourish the skin when you don't have makeup on. This is a routine. It's just as putting on makeup and letting it kind of slowly wither away, right?
Right.
You take it off, you put it on properly, and you moisturize, you clean your skin to make sure that your palette is not reacting badly to what you put on it on a daily basis.
Okay, that's wonderful. And can you tell us, where are you from?
I'm from Israel originally, born and bred.
Wow.
I came to this country because I married an American.
Wow.
Over 20 years ago, and I made it my home. I lived 1 year in Washington, D.C., and then we moved to the Bronx, and I never looked back.
Oh, nice.
I love the Bronx.
You love the Bronx. How long you've been a resident at the Bronx?
Over 20 years.
Wow.
Same place.
So you are a Bronx resident.
I'm a Bronx resident, and I'm a Lehman graduate, and I'm proud of both of these elements in my life.
Would you tell us what are the special effects when it comes to stage makeup?
Well,
do they come with the makeup, or do you have to buy it separately?
Well, some special effects you buy, or at least you buy the materials, right? What I'm going to demonstrate right now on Brian is I made him television worthy. You don't see much of a difference except the effect that the face is now ready to stand or to sit in front of the camera. There's no shine, even skin tone, and a camera loves it. But you don't really see that he has makeup unless you know it.
Right.
Now, let's say Brian is an actor in West Side Story.
Right.
And in West Side Story, we know that the two gangs constantly fighting, right? Breaking into fights in the street.
Right.
And he is one of these gang members, and he got caught in one of the fights. And I'm going to give him a shiner, okay? Right. Now, this is something that I can create from colors by looking at a visual that looks like a shiner.
So this
makeup
is the
artist will always look for a visual of what the real thing looks like in order to create a simulation. Close your eye. Okay. And we know that in a shiner, for example, we're imitating colors that are purple, right? Right. Red. Depending on how old the shiner is, you will have it more shiny or you will have it matte, right?
Do you know the what kind of workshop or classes, like what are the classes you took in order to like to get these special effects? Was that, I'm sorry to interrupt you, was that part of the class that once they show you how to do stage makeup, they should show you the side of the special effects?
I went to a makeup school and I learned under a mentor, right? And the process was from the simplest. You learn about materials, about tools, what works with what. You learn about blending colors. You learn about the anatomy of the face. You move to beauty makeup, corrective makeup, and then you go to what I call the red, black, and blue, the fun series, right? And that's where you learn how to do the special effects. Some of them, like I'm doing right now with Brian, I'm going to create on his face with some color. Some of it, you need to go to a lab. You need to special materials, and some of those special effects that you see in movies like amputations, strangulations, cuts, gun holes, right? Skin and flesh torn. That's a split second that the camera comes in close up for hours and hours of work backstage that makeup artists have worked just to create this particular split second that you see on the screen. But on stage, you don't really have that camera that goes on a close-up. So on the stage, we're less inclined to do blood and gore special effects. You can do some aging. We work a lot with wigs, with hair whiteners to age people. But something like this, what I'm doing for Brian, is slightly different. That you know, I'm using a stage play to give you an example, but basically most of these special effects you are going to see on the screen, not so much on stage. Also, there's no time between from one scene to the other to sit somebody down and
place the makeup
put
on.
something on them. So they just play it on the stage. On television, you'd or movies, you'd stop the camera, right? Everybody's called in for makeup. Work. 2 seconds. Great, I got my shot. Director's happy. Everybody's happy. That's the difference between stage and television.
And what was your first gig?
I did some work. I learned my craft in Israel, and that was during the first Gulf War. In between Scud attacks, I would go out with my kids to take a class, to go to school, to take a class. And I came back here to the United States, and I started with my makeup kit, knocking on doors, community theaters, and then I came to Lehman, and I knocked on the production door, and I said, "Hi, I'm a makeup artist. Here's my kit. You have you have a job for me?" And they said yes, and I'm still here.
And what were your, since you said you came to Lehman to educate yourself, what was your degrees?
I have a BA degree in theater from Lehman, which I did parallel to working on stage and doing makeup and doing theater here. And then I went to graduate school at Hunter, still within the CUNY system, and I got my graduate degree. And then I started teaching here.
Oh, nice.
Again, Lehman came and opened the door for me and said, "Would you teach for us in the theater department?" So,
and since you also taught in the theater department, were you any kind of actress in the arts department as an artist?
Yes, I do acting, I do directing. You can say that makeup for me was the entry ticket to doing theater. And I love doing makeup. I come back to it. Right now I'm designing makeup and hair for A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is a theater production of the Red Monkey Theater Group at Mount St. Vincent. I just did a show with them as an actor.
Wow.
Called Uncle Vanya. So I'm fluctuating, and I love it. I like to go on different disciplines within the theater and do whatever comes my way. I think it makes you a little richer in your business.
So I see you're multi-talented.
I hope so. I hope so. I certainly multitask, that's for sure.
And do you have other side jobs? Besides that, you're multi-talented. Do you do something else beside teaching?
I used to when my kids were home, but now they're all grown and taking care of themselves, so it's only my husband and me. And this is what I do. I either run around with my makeup kit to different gigs, or I go to rehearsals. When I can, I teach. I think that's pretty busy.
So what else? What's going on right now with Brian? What are we placing right now on his face?
What I'm placing right now on his face is a quick, what I call a bruise. Right?
Looks a little bloody.
These are the colors of the bruise. Let's say he was just hit. So the bruise is, first of all, shiny. It hasn't had time to fade. You look at the colors of a regular bruise, it's mostly purple, right? Dark purple, and a lot of red.
How long does the makeup stays once it's already placed on the face?
Until you take it off. Okay. Until you take it off, and you need to take the makeup off. Oh, sorry. Sometimes that happens. You need to take the makeup off, especially if you get stuff on it that you're not usually used to, right? Sometimes it involves latex. It involves chemicals to create scars, to create bruises, right? Take it off. Take it off the same way you take any other makeup, with cream, like baby lotion.
Right.
That I teach you ladies, right? The best thing, a little baby lotion takes off everything, cleans up your face.
Is stage makeup washable?
Not with soap and water, and I wouldn't recommend removing any makeup with soap and water.
So we need a specialized cleansing?
Not a specialized, any cream, like the baby lotion, the pink baby, right? That takes off everything from mascara to lipstick to foundation to powder.
How about those like liquid makeup removers, like they have eye makeup remover? Is that good enough?
I was not pleased with all these special eye makeup removers. I found them that they sting, they get into your eyes, they disturb the pH inside, and they mostly sting.
Right.
Don't spend a lot of money. Makeup is mostly a money business.
Yeah.
right? And there's no limit to how much you can spend on makeup. But sometimes the good, old-fashioned, steady, traditional, conventional things will serve you just as well and won't cost you a lot of money.
That's awesome.
And one of the things is that baby lotion.
I'm so happy that you came today, and I would love to share with everybody. How can we reach you? How can we, if we need your assistance, if somebody even needs a special, personal makeup artist, how can we reach you?
Well, I don't do personal jobs. I very early on in the game picked my choice to do makeup for theater and television, not so much beauty makeup. So I'm not doing brides. I'm not doing smoky eyes, dewy eyes.
Okay. But is there a way to reach you for any type of stage or theater work?
Well, you can always find me here at the Bronx Journal, right?
Okay.
People know where to reach me, or if you can call the theater department at Lehman, or the journalism, communications, and theater and dance department.
Right.
They have my number, and they have a way to reach me. I'm an
Okay.
individual. I work by myself. I run around with my kit.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for teaching us what's the difference between stage makeup and television makeup and the special effects.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And I want to take this opportunity and wish my daughter Alexandra a happy birthday.
Awesome.
She's 23 today.
Happy birthday, Alexandra, and we'll be right back with Bronx Journal.